this show's becoming an automotive show, and what's really interesting is, cars are becoming gadgets. What are some of the things that you're enabling in a vehicle? What are these chips actually being used for when somebody sits down in the driver's seat?
That's right. Well, if you look today, the experience of owning a car is in many ways not too dissimilar from owning a smartphone. And the reason is the smartphone technology is now the thing that you see when you drive the car. It's connected to the internet. You get things like Pandora or Spotify. The car itself is reporting how it's doing to the dealer. The dealer is taking information and figuring out how to better manage that product. And then in the future, these cars will be communicating between each other to either optimize traffic or to become safer. So it's just very, very early in the stages. Now you also have the situation where the car can see. It knows what's around them or around it, and it can make decisions based on it. That's been happening in the smartphone for some time. Same technology used to do that, so it's not a secret, or it's not a coincidence that the same technologies are now being shown in the car. And it's just the beginning. If you look at what the car companies are doing, they're really starting to embrace the speed of innovation that happens in the smartphone.
Well, let's talk about that. The partnerships here is kind of interesting. You've got automakers that have been around for decades, centuries even, and then you've got these technology companies that are looked at as the upstarts and the cool guys. How has that been from a partnership standpoint? Do automakers get it? You're working on a gadget that can't be turned in every 2 years, right?
But the difficulty is how do I get access to the technology? How can I make it easy without becoming an expert in this new area?
Right.
And so what our job is to make it easy for them to use smartphone technology and connectivity. Now that's what's going on now. Then you have the situation, how can I deal with the fact that I own a car for 7 years, but I want to change out the smartphone portion of that car at a very fast rate? Well, we've actually come up with modules that you can just slip out one piece of the car. You can think of it as almost a thing a little bit smaller than the old 8-track tape.
Cool.
You pull that out, you swap it out for the newest one. Very similar technique to what's happened with the smartphone. You download a new software release, and so your user experience is a very different, upgradable experience, and that's happening in the car.